The procession stretched down the cobblestone road, a serpent made of men in red and gold, the emperor's colors. They marched forward, ignoring the slack-jawed townspeople gaping at the banner they carried, a dragon with a forest curled within its talon, the emblem of the royal house. A palanquin draped in scarlet silk appeared, resting on the shoulders of 4 men. People craned their necks to see the occupant, but caught only a tantalizing glimpse through the swaying curtain. Blood-red lips, golden blossoms in shining hair, and robes that cost more than any of them would see in a lifetime.
"Another day, another concubine."
A bent old woman bared the 3 teeth she had left.
"It seems he has a taste for pretty village girls. May blessings rain down upon him,"
she added hastily, in case a soldier heard her criticize their sovereign.
"He must not discriminate by class when it comes to beauty,"
another woman agreed. She was not as old as the first, but she was just as bent. Most of her weight rested on her good leg, while the other hung crookedly, like a dead branch. Her shrewd gaze moved from the procession to the girl beside her. She was not the only one looking at this girl. More than one soldier admired her as he marched by. The girl wore tattered, faded clothing like everyone else, but she had a face like a painting, a perfect oval, with lotus lips blooming beneath a sweet stem of a nose. She appeared docile, virginal, but the eyes she lifted told a different story, with their sparkle of intelligence. They were the kind of eyes that flashed from the shadows of a darkened room.
"He must not discriminate," the woman said again. "What do you say to that, Xifeng?"
"I wish the emperor joy, Guma. She must be special indeed if he chose her for his own," the girl said respectfully, even as her coal-black eyes burned. At the palace, slaves would bathe the young concubine's feet in orange flower water. Every inch of her would smell like jasmine, and when the emperor put his lips on her skin, he would know nothing of her hardship and poverty. The same hardship and poverty that coated Xifeng like sweat.
"She is no more special than you."
There was no love in Guma's statement, just fact. But they were mere words, ones she had said for years. She shuffled closer and hooked a claw-like hand around Xifeng's elbow.
"Come, it may be silks and riches for her, but it's back to the needles for us. Tonight, we will read the cards again," she added as gently as she ever could.
Xifeng knew these rare glimpses of kindness from her aunt could be swept away the next minute by a dark mood, so she inclined her head in a show of grateful obedience, picking up the basket containing their meager purchases, and the pair trudged back home. They lived a short distance from the center of town, rather a grand term for a muddy square. There, ragged farmers and crones with more brains than teeth hawked wares that had seen better days: maggoty vegetables, cracked pottery, dull knives, and cheap hemp fabric. It had rained the night before, a torrential downpour of early spring that would be good for the rice and crops, but had turned all else into a pungent soup of mud and debris. A few scrawny chickens ran by, a trail of droppings streaking behind them, as a woman emerged from a soggy cottage to scream at her brats. Some days, Xifeng thought she would gladly watch this town burn. She ached to leave it all behind and never look back, to think she was trapped here forever, while the imperial palanquin carried that other girl straight into the emperor's swan-feathered bed.